Hello, good evening, and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How is everybody tonight? Hope you're all well. Hope you've had a good start to the week. So, tonight we have a special showcase. We are going to be taking a look at Cohors Cthulhu from MODIPHIUS Entertainment. This is a brand new tabletop role-playing game that launches on Kickstarter tomorrow, the 4th of October from midday GMT. Been very excited to take a look at this. We do have the quick start guide that we're going to go through tonight, and then we're just going to maybe talk a little bit about what the game might play like. We're going to have some artwork that we can take a look through and just imagine the possibilities. Amanda, are you set and ready? Are you good to go? Hopefully we're not having technical difficulties already. You seem to be here. Let's bring you on in. Yep. Good evening, Mystical.
Hello.
Hello.
Was I sitting here going, why can't I hear anything? Forgetting I didn't connect right away? No, not at all.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
You're good. Okay. It's fine. Everything will work out. Okay, so yes, well, I don't know. I'm very excited about this release tomorrow. I can't wait to see what MODIPHIUS has in store for us. We have a little bit of a teaser with the quick start guide, which I've taken a look through, and I'm sure you have. Sort of first initial impressions as a one line. What's your level of excitement for this game?
Stunned silence. Just that. Just, oh my gosh.
Okay. You see, it's not even a sentence. It's just, it's ... Speechless, yes. Completely speechless. All right. Well, hey, let's jump on into the quick start guide, and we can sort of start talking about it. As long as this all works. Now, there is a link on the channel's Discord if you want to grab a copy of the Quick Start, because it's absolutely free. You can get it from the Drive-Thru RPG, which is where I got mine. I believe you can get it, of course, from the MODIPHIUS web store. So you could actually be downloading it and taking a look at the same time as we discuss this. So get involved. Go and check it out in preparation for the Kickstarter launch tomorrow. So we have this front cover, and already it conjures so much to the imagination, doesn't it? It really does set the scene for what this game is going to be all about.
It's Romans and Cthulhu, guys. Like, oh my god!
It doesn't need to be much more, does it really? Let's be honest.
No, it's so good.
But again, so much is crammed into this image. We of course we have the Roman legionnaire there. We have what would be one of the Germanic tribes people of that era. We have, I mean, could we say, is that an Amazonian? There's a lady with a bow there, isn't there?
Yeah, so I don't know. I've been looking through and I see that, like, they have that picture a couple times, and I'm like, what is it? What are you?
Yes, because that's the thing. Now that I'm looking at it with a little bit more detail, I don't think she's got legs, has she? She's got something else going on.
Yeah.
Am I right to think that? It does, yeah, because I have a printed version of it here, and now I can see it up on the monitor as well.
And so like the ones that are like tainted have like the tentacle coming out instead of their head.
Yes, yes.
So I'm wondering if she's in league with them, or what? What is going on?
Yeah, but you would think that it's a little bit of that sort of Avengers Assemble scene, isn't it? Where you have maybe the 3 heroes and they are fighting the hordes that are swooping on in. So I feel that she's part of the party, but it does look like that she might be otherworldly.
Yeah.
So I have questions. I have questions about her.
Lots of questions.
Lots of questions. All right, let's jump on in then.
And concerns.
Concerns, yes. So I do like how they've laid this out, and I would imagine that the player's guide and the games master's guide will follow suit. I mean, the design just speaks Roman all the way through, doesn't it, really?
Yes.
We have our credits. And we have jumping straight on in. So as it says, welcome to Cohors Cthulhu. So prepare to delve into a role-playing game of cosmic horror and epic adventure set within the hidden wars fought in the shadows of the Roman Empire and its surroundings. Now, we took a look at Actung Cthulhu a while back, which of course is from MODIPHIUS. So we're kind of, we can, having taken a look at that game, we can kind of imagine what this might be like. It's just, of course, at a different point in time, isn't it? As opposed to World War II, we are going back all the way to the height of the Roman Empire. It, of course, uses MODIPHIUS's 2d20 system, which we've become quite familiar with, having looked, as I say, at Actung Cthulhu, but of course also the Star Trek role-playing game, John Carter from Mars, Fallout, Dune, to name but a few. And so it gives us a little bit of an overview here of just what is the game all about. Cohors Cthulhu is a setting for Lovecraftian horror placed against a backdrop of epic heroism. It was going to happen, wasn't it? It was going to happen. Heroism, intrigue, and strife during the height of the early Roman Empire.
See, I didn't think it would happen over the word heroism. I know. There's going to be plenty
more words for me to fumble, but let's get it hopefully out of the way early, and everything else will be fine. For me, of course, as soon as I heard about this game, instantly thinking of the opening sequences of Gladiator. I mean, yes. That's got to be the picture that would appear in most people's minds. And then I suppose you could still have the barbarian hordes, but just make them a little bit more cosmic, I guess.
Yeah, just a little tainted.
Yes.
Just a little more tentacly.
So it does say here that... will players take on the roles of diverse heroes from regions across the Empire? Oh, here we go. Germania, Gaul, Britannia. It's going to be Egyptus, isn't it? Assyria, Greece, Hispania, and even eternal Rome itself. Arising from a wide array of backgrounds, they battle baleful horrors facing all of humanity. Whether the fight was forced on them or they chose this path, it requires putting aside allegiances and prejudices and making friends of former enemies. So
dun, dun, dun.
I like, of course, all those sort of classic civilizations of that time. there's just so much scope, isn't there?
Yeah.
I believe in the initial Kickstarter, it's going to focus on the Roman Empire and the sort of the German faction, I guess, and of course then the Mythos, the tainted, as it's, I think it calls it. Is it the actually called the tainted? The ones that are out on the edge of the forests. So those will be the three that they focus in on, and then through expansions they will then look at the other nations. So of course, naturally, I'm going to be interested in Britannia to see what they do there. But I'm also very interested.
I wonder why.
Yeah. I'm also interested in Greece and Egypt. I think they will be very, very interesting to see what they do. So we have, just like Acton Cthulhu, we have factions within the sort of the human elements here. And I'm going to get this one. The Tempari, the Tempered. So these are formidable agents in the hidden war, chosen by the immortal Hyborian named Meren. So we do have... Oh, gone too far. And then we have the Fingers of Dawn. So we've got two factions. The Fingers of Dawn is a secretive and influential cabal that seeks to elevate its own heroes. This group is headquartered in Rome, but has branches across the empire. So members of the Fingers of Dawn are aware of Mythos' threats in the hidden war and actively oppose them, seeing themselves as protectors of humanity. They are willing to work with and recruit agents of any background or faith, and often employ outsiders as muscle or informants. So I'm not sure which one on my initial sort of look, which one would I want to go for? The Tempered. They are eternal warriors who fight a truly cosmic conflict against the fathomless power of the outer gods. That feels a little bit like the Highlanders, near enough. Going down in generations after generations, fighting the approaching cosmic horror. I'm not quite sure. Which one would you go for? Would you go for the more sort of human? Well, they're both human based, but one is I suppose this one is more sort of slightly religious, isn't it? It's gone through, hundreds of years of coming down through the ages, whereas the other is a more real, they know of the threat here and now and are dealing with it.
I don't know. I really don't. Part of me is like, I'd do the Fingers of Dawn, and then I'm like, but I kind of like the whole like Illuminati type of feel of the other one.
Yeah, they're both actually quite a cool idea. So on the opposite side, on the Mythos cults, so these are... So on the opposite side of the hidden war are the outer gods. These vast, void-born beings of fathomless power dwell beyond the reach of earth, but even their slumbering echoes are enough to stir discord and delusion among humankind. So cults devoted to the outer gods and the lesser great old ones are proxies through which the outer gods keep a hand in the hidden wars. So we have the cult of Mormo. An insidious cult of Mormo infests northern Germania, but has offshoots and tendrils in multiple other regions. It is perhaps the most active and aggressive of the Mythos cults, active in the Cohors era. It has entered into significant alliances with other powerful and dangerous entities, and represents one of the most immediate and pressing threats to both unaligned Germanic tribes and Rome itself. So that's interesting. And then we have the Atlanteans, the Atlantean remnants. Atlantis thrived thousands of years before the founding of Rome, exerting a widespread, if now largely forgotten, influence on the world. Its shadow is felt in the legacy of its descendants and a rare few long-lived survivors who witnessed its fall firsthand. Atlantis was corrupted from within, its leaders infected by an insidious force inhabiting their relics of power. This resulted in a civil war that obliterated their entire island. A small number of Atlanteans survived to flee, taking with them what they could. Now that's quite cool. I like the Atlanteans. I want to be them. Yeah.
I want to be them.
It reminds me a little bit, and I suppose this is, you know, if you think about the logic of the storytelling, it's a little bit like the Descendants of Numenor. And we've got a little bit of a Lord of the Rings vibe here, but did Tolkien just take that from from the mythos of Atlantis, yeah? So it's a little bit like Aragorn, isn't it? Your descendants of a bygone super race that are no longer here because their island has been consumed by the waves.
Or at least you're there in like hiding.
Yes. So they are very aware. So but it puts them down as being part of the mythos cult. So
I know, but I want to be them.
Yeah. I wonder then if you're able to play it from either side, or are they always going to be an adversary?
I hope you can. Oh, I hope you can.
Yeah. Okay. Roga, you're saying you're torn too between which of the factions you might choose. What about the Atlanteans? Do you like the idea of it?
That picture just... Oh,
it is wondrous. We do have some artwork that MODIPHIUS very kindly gave to the channel to be able to show. So we do have that in full high res. We'll be able to have a look at it and scrutinize it. So we'll do that in a little bit as we go through. And then rituals. We've got to have an image of rituals. Of course we do. Okay. So it set the scene a little bit. Of course, this is a quick start guide, so it is powering through. We then go to the rules. And for the most part, if you have played one of the MODIPHIUS's 2d20 systems, you are going to be very familiar with how the game plays. It gives us a little bit of an overview here of what we need. We need some of the D20s, we need some D6s, and it gives us...
Oh, it's her pants.
It's what, sorry?
I was just looking at the photo again. The next photo shows the archer again, and I got a closer look. It's her pants.
Oh,
it's just pants.
You've skipped past, so she is one of the good guys then. That's good.
I was just like, oh.
Okay, so we have our characters.
I got distracted.
You did. It's okay. We got characters, which we of course have our attributes and our skills. And again, with these games, they just sort of refashion these to be appropriate to the theme, don't they? So we have agility, brawn, coordination, gravitas, insight, reason, and will as our core attributes. We then have our skills: academia, athletics, crafting, engineering, fighting, medicine, observation, persuasion, resilience, stealth, survival, and tactics.
I absolutely love that they have tactics as a skill, because that is not something you find in a lot of these games, and a lot of these games do require you to actually do tactics. So like having it as a skill that your character can take and be like, haha, I'm proficient in this. It's just fantastic.
I suppose that particular skill, if you're going to be a Roman centurion or a Roman commander, then there we are, yes. You have battle tactics for commanding your force. I think that makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
And I think it also helps. It's another way to help as a player, because maybe that's what I picked to be, but I'm not the great at tactics. But being proficient in this allows the GM to be like, hey, here's a little bit of help for you because you're proficient in this.
That's it.
Nice too.
You're playing a character. It doesn't mean you are good at tactics, but your character is.
Exactly.
I don't have a clue what I should be doing, but my character does. So I'm just going to roll some dice and reflect that.
There is a very good reason I play characters that either sneak or rush in, because that's what I can do.
But yes, I do like how they always retheme the attributes and skills so that they're appropriate, and bring in, as you say, some new ones there that are unique to this particular theme. So that's quite cool.
Yes.
And so then it gives us an overview on making a skill test. Again, anybody who's played the 2d20 system will be familiar with this. So basically, the Games Master chooses which attribute and skill are appropriate for a test. The Games Master then sets the test's difficulty. This is determining how many successes you require. 0 representing a very easy task, and 5 the most difficult. The player then rolls their dice pool. Play starts with 2 d20s, and they may choose to purchase up to 3 additional d20s by spending momentum or by adding to the GM's threat pool. You will, of course, will be taking your attribute and your skill as determined by the Games Master. So each die that rolls equal to or less than the target number scores a single success. So if the character has a focus that applies, each die that rolls equal to or less than their rank in that skill used is a critical success, generating 2 successes instead of 1. If the character does not have a focus that applies, each die that rolls a 1 is a critical success, generating 2 successes instead of 1. And each die that rolls a 20 causes a complication. Ultimately then, if the number of successes scored equals or exceeds the test difficulty, then the character has passed the test. And the Games Master describes the outcome. And that's pretty easy, isn't it, as far as doing your tests like so?
Yeah, it's relatively easy.
Relatively easy. It goes into opposed tests, and then truths. Truth is a single word or short phrase that describes a significant fact or aspect about its subject. Truths define what is and what isn't possible, and whether skill tests are easier or harder to pass. If a truth stops being important or ceases to be true, it is no longer a truth. Now, I've not seen this before in their games, or have I just missed it? So
I feel like it was in one other game that we've looked at, but I can't think of which one it was now.
Okay, so truths come in a variety of types, such as personal truths, location truths, and scene truths. In rule terms, if the truth applies to an action, it does one of the following. The truth makes the action easier, reducing the difficulty of the skill test by 1. The truth makes the action more difficult, increasing the difficulty by +1. The truth makes an action possible or impossible. So if a truth should have a particular intense effect, the Games Master can add a number after the name of the truth, increasing the modifier of the difficulty of the affected skill tests. So for example, here we go. The smoke truth could be made more intense by calling it smoke 2, increasing the difficulty to see through smoke. Okay. I'm not sure on that. I've not seen that before. I don't think I've seen it before. So that's interesting. I will have to look a little bit more on that. And then we have secret truths.
If it wasn't in a system that we've looked at, it's been in one that I've looked at, because I I have heard this before, this and done this.
Right.
Now it's gonna bug me. But
Yeah.
it's a fun concept because it's just a little bit of extra to it that can either complicate or help.
Yes.
Usually it complicates, though.
Yes.
It's always the way.
Yeah.
I think my voice is re-echoing a little bit on your side there.
Oh.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes, thank you. Yeah. We then have complications because, of course, you know, nothing ever goes easy for us players, does it? So,
Never.
and then complication ranges, skill test difficulties. Here we go. So it's given an example. So, as we said before, if it's a 0 difficulty, then it's easy to do. But a 5 difficulty is incredibly difficult. I mean, I like how they give the examples. 5, retaining your rationality as you stare into the face of an elder god. So it is so difficult. And then it goes through how you might improve the odds with either assistance or momentum. Fortune, talents, giving the GM threat so that you can add additional dice to your pool. I do always like how you can work together. I think that's always good. Especially when you've got a couple of characters who share sort of some of the similar attributes or skills. That's always useful.
Yeah. And having it in the game where you can actually get advantages or bonuses from that help is really nice, because there are some instances where you're like, can I help in this instance? And yeah, but it's not going to do anything. So it's like, well.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Okay, and then it goes through momentum. So if you gained a critical success, then it's potential for you to gain a momentum, to which you can only have up to 6 at any time. And it details how you might want to use that momentum. So as we've mentioned before, you can buy D20s. You can gain confidence. So each momentum you spend on this option after you pass a skill test adds +1 to your character's morale resistance until the start of the next turn. You think we're going to need quite a bit of that, yeah?
I do. I need confidence, please.
Here we go. You can create a truth.
Not my character.
No, you could just you in general.
Not my character, just me in general.
Hey, we can all do with a bit of a momentum confidence boost. Why not, eh? So here we go. We can create a truth. A player can spend 2 momentum to establish a new truth in the scene, or to change or remove a truth currently in play. The truth created must relate to a skill test they have just passed, or it must be something that would result from their character's actions. So that's interesting.
Well, but you do have to have the ability to create new truths, because remember, once a truth, like it can become false, right? So
yes.
In something that's not permanent like that, you need to have a way to generate it again, right? So
yes, we can go either way. That's cool. You keep the initiative. So that's quite simple. Obtain information. The player can ask Games Master a single question about the scene per momentum point spent. The GM must answer truthfully, but doesn't have to give complete information.
Just enough to be dangerous.
Yes, yeah. Well, we've experienced that, haven't we? And then reduce time. A player can spend momentum to reduce the time it takes for their character to complete the activity. That could be helpful.
That's really handy. Very handy.
We go to our classic example of picking the lock and getting in quicker before the guard turns up. Yeah. Okay.
Or in this case, before some gigantic eyeball looks at you.
We'll as we go through, we'll go on to story ideas. I've had an idea for a sort of story that I would like to sort of tell. But we'll come on to that later. So threat, of course, that if we potentially have been buying some dice, then of course the games master will generate threat points that they can use, which of course are the counterpoint to the player's momentum. So the GM can add threatening circumstances.
Great. Fantastic.
Non-player character momentum. So an NPC can get a bit of a bonus. They can add complications. Momentum spends. Players can pay for momentum, which we've already talked about. So Games Master can spend threat in a number of ways. So NPC momentum, NPC threat spends, NPC complications, truths. So the Games Master can change or create a truth. So yes, it does go back and two, doesn't it, between players and GMs? Yep. That's really interesting. Reinforcements, and then environmental effects and narrative changes.
Nope, I don't like it.
Nope. You don't like any of those.
No.
And then fortune. So characters can use fortune to pull off extraordinary actions, perform exciting stunts, succeed on 1 in a million tasks, or gain an edge during life or death situations. So each character begins an adventure with 1 fortune point, which refreshes at the beginning of each subsequent adventure. So this is something that it's your one-off stroke of luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so each player may spend only 1 fortune point per scene. Okay. And so here we go, some ways of spending your fortune. A critical success, a reroll, an additional major action. Avoid defeat and make it happen. So again, we'll look at this wonderful artwork. We have somebody that looks like they might be part of one of the cults just by their dress, sneaking up where we have those are Roman legionnaires with tentacles for their heads, yeah?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Just making sure. Okay.
You are correct.
We're all clear on that one. And I guess, well, it looks as if that's somebody part of the cult who has a staff there, is in robes. I don't know whether he's beckoning forth the creature that's within the structure.
Oh, he definitely is. Look at his face. Look at his head. It's like mutated. It's
yeah.
He's also holding a glowing orb in one hand. He's absolutely calling it forth.
And it's green. It's green.
Exactly.
Anything green and glowing, not good.
Or purple. Purple and green seem to be those colors that are just like, yep, that's bad.
Walk away. Okay, so we continue with the rules, and we got action and conflict, telling us a little bit about zones and distances, rounds and turns, and then going into actual action. So the minor actions, which is aim, draw an item, movement, prepare. And then major actions, which are assist, attack, cast a spell, catch a breath, create truth, dual wielding, I like that one, pass, ready, rush, a skill test, and stabilize. So here, dual wielding is a major action, allows your character to spend momentum to make 2 attacks in 1 turn while wielding 2 melee weapons. If the dual wielding action is not used, wielding 2 melee weapons at once does not add to the number of attacks, but instead gives your character the choice of using either weapon while attacking. I love that. This is brilliant.
Oh, see, I wonder if they have a unarmed classification, because if they don't, then I as a GM would class fist as a melee weapon, which means you could just take right hook, left hook onto someone, and that would make me so happy.
To sort of be punching the tentacle Roman soldiers, yeah. Well, that's interesting. I mean, of course, because this is quick start, it may not go into that level of detail, but that's something to look out for in the actual rules, isn't it? But I love the idea of dual wielding. I think that's brilliant, and I to be honest, I can't think of. I've not seen that before. I'm sure it has happened in other games. I'm sure it has, but they're calling this out.
No. There's in D&D you can dual wield and get 2 attacks in one thing. It's only with specific classes though, whereas this lets anybody do it. Yeah. Which is nice.
So here we go. So it does say the difficulty of the second attack increases by +1. If the second weapon was not already drawn, they still need to spend a minor action to draw it. Okay, so let's just go back here. So minor actions. My character may take 1 minor action on their turn. Once per turn, they can spend 1 momentum to take 1 additional minor action. Each time a minor action can be taken only once per turn. So that could be then drawing your item. And then characters take 1 major action per turn. Once per action scene, they can spend 1 fortune point to take a second major action. So, yeah, there we go. So you could effectively do your minor and then do your dual wielding as a major, which is, if all going well, is actually then 2 attacks. So to some degree, you've had 3 actions, haven't you? Even though 2 of them are focused on combat only.
Yeah.
That's quite cool. I like that. But your second attack will increase the difficulty, which makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and usually in again, just to compare it to another game that I know for D&D, in that your second attack, you don't add your bonuses to it. It's more of a straight roll versus your first one where you get to add a whole bunch of numbers to it. So I like it because this allows it to feel like a class isn't punished for, I want to be a rogue type character. Like I want to be more like that. I want to be sneaky. But suddenly, even though my character is physically capable of holding 2 weapons, I can only attack with 1. Versus, hey, if I can hold 2, I'm gonna attack with 2. Like, it feels more fair.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like it a lot. We then have reactions. So in addition to taking your major and minor actions during the turn, a character may be able to respond to other characters' actions outside of their turn. A character may attempt 1 reaction each round, as long as it's not during their turn. So it's saying here you can brace. Let's just, I think on the other page. Oh, is it only the brace?
That's all I saw, and I was like, it says actions, but I only see 1.
So I think that, again, just part of this quick start, we've got 1 there because potentially we might need it in our little scenario that's at the end of the quick start, but there will be more then in the full game. Okay. And then it goes into attacks, damage, and injuries. And again, I suppose this is a little bit of a difference here, isn't it? Is that this is where we do have a game that has physical and mental attacks. given
Yes.
the theme. So there are 3 forms of attack available to a character: physical attacks, mental attacks, and spells. Physical attacks are further divided into melee attacks and ranged attacks. So other than spellcasters, most player characters cannot inflict mental damage. However, fearsome, in bold, fearsome NPCs can inflict mental damage through a mental attack or even through their presence alone. I think that's going to be really cool.
It's so good. It's so good.
I think the fact of building that terror up within the player characters, you know, the foreboding nature of the entity that you face, I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
I know a few DMs who traumatize players just because of how much build-up and suspense they put into, like, just a few sentences, and you're sitting there like, okay, I don't like this. To have them play this game, oh my gosh.
Right.
It would be just absolute chaos, and I love it. I'm here for it.
So it says here, NPCs with the fearsome special rule make a will plus persuasion or will plus survival test with a difficulty of 1. Mental attacks are used to threaten and intimidate opponents. That's a difficulty of 1. In other words, they just exude fear.
I know.
That's just so easy. That's not fair. So inflicting stress. If the target is a player character, the target adds any remaining stress to the stress track on their character sheets. If the target is an NPC, the GM keeps track of how much stress the NPC has accrued. The number after the label stress is an NPC profile, is that NPC's maximum stress. After the target records their stress, they check to see if they sustained any injuries. So where is stress? I want to see that, because we can see them removing at the start of a scene. A character removes all the stress they've accumulated. But how do you get the stress? So injuries. A character sustains an injury if one of the more of the following occur. The character suffers 5 or more stress from a single attack after reduction for resistance. The character's stress track becomes filled. The character already had a full stress track and suffers further stress.
I wonder if stress is the little, like, insanity, like, Cthulhu symbol.
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we will see that as we go through. But yes, I like the idea.
Come on, quick guide, give me how to inflict stress on my enemies.
Well,
or teammates, I'm fine either way.
so it's time talking about reach and guard. The ebb and flow of melee combat is shaped by the combatants and the weapons they use. Different weapons are suited to different situations. A fight plays out differently if the combatants are using daggers than if they are using spears. And you really don't want to be the one holding the dagger when the other combatant has the spear. I know that much. So it talks about guard.
Well, unless you're behind him.
Yes, exactly. If he doesn't know you're there, it's the perfect weapon.
Yeah.
Damage
it's
effects.
It's fantastic.
We got area, drain, intense, knockdown. So there are lots stun, snare. And I think these are on the D6s, aren't they? Yes. Rolling an effect.
Yes.
On the challenge die. Though, of course, you can use conventional dice. But it's a 5 or 6. There was a table at the start of the guide that if you didn't have the official dice or dice similar, within the D20, 2D20 system sets, I'm assuming you probably could use like the Star Trek dice or the dice from Fallout, because I think they have the same weighting on them. But if not, you can just use typical conventional die. And then weapon qualities. So weapon qualities alter the way a weapon functions. Some in a positive way, others by applying restrictions or limitations. So it's quite a bit to sort of take on board, isn't it, in this sort of combat side, as far as, I suppose your number of weapons are limited, because mostly it's swords and spears, bows and arrows, but they've increased the depth of those weapons, so it's a more realistic combat.
Well,
and
and you say swords, but then you get like the quality heavy, so you get your broadsword versus your short sword and stuff like that. So I would think anything that is two-handed would be classed as heavy.
Yeah. And of course axes, because we haven't mentioned those. There'll be a lot of axes being used here.
Yep.
We have shields. We'll have obviously little daggers. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Magic.
Crossbows.
Yes. Yeah, longbows, short bows.
You've got a reload action, so.
So we have magic. Magic in Cohors Cthulhu is the practice of mystics, such as certain scholars, priests, and seekers of forbidden knowledge. It can also be used by especially gifted individuals who can shape and harness arcane forces that are sometimes far beyond their comprehension or indeed control. So
I like that the tablet says opera.
Right, yes.
I mean,
well, I wonder, because of course I'm assuming that's all Latin, and that being the case, what does it actually say? There we go, chat. There's something for you. Come and decode this tablet for us. Sator, Aripo, Tenant, Tenant, Opera, Rotas. So there's battlefield magic.
Says the same. It says the same vertical as it does horizontal.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and back to front as well. Oh, what's the word for that? Is it a palindrome?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, gosh. Oh, that's warping my mind. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, can you? But what do those actual words mean something then?
I don't know.
Are they actually Latin? This is a mission for you, chat. Go and decipher the tablet. What arcane knowledge might we discover? But we have battlefield magic and ritualistic magic. And then it tells us a little bit about learning, how to research, preparing battlefield spells. So to cast a spellcaster must first prepare their mantle with the spells they wish to bind it to. A mantle is a significant item, such as a wand, staff, or rune stone, that a spellcaster uses to store bound spells. So you can bind a number of spells equal to their power rating. Okay. So you potentially could do this during the sort of adventuring portion before you get into combat, so long as you don't get sort of the combat happens by surprise. Yeah, it's probably worth doing that as one of your very first actions. I want to bind a fireball because fireballs are always useful. Talking a little bit about casting the magic spell. You're working out what it means, aren't you, in the background? I can tell.
I am. Yes, I
am. Have you got any good information so far?
not something that makes sense just yet. So stay tuned.
Okay, keeping at it. Okay. We then have spell and ritual damage, and how to resist magic and miscast spells and rituals. Now, you see, is there actually anything that tells us what happens here? So, due to the power of a spellcaster, ritualist it wields, even the slightest break in their concentration can cause their magic to spiral out of control. I'm thinking of Doctor Strange here. As of any other skill test, a roll of 20 on a skill test to cast a spell or perform a ritual causes a complication. However, a spell or ritual's complication range increases as its difficulty increases. Complications caused by a miscast spell or ritual are much more unpredictable and devastating than those from other tests. Games Master is encouraged to apply devious invention when adjudicating the results of a complication caused by miscasting. If the spell is successfully cast or the ritual successfully performed, its spell effect or ritual outcome will still occur. Complications cannot turn successes into failure, and any miscasts can only produce additional or unintentional consequences. Love it. Yes. Opening up a rift to another reality. Yeah, I'm down for that. Okay.
I mean, who wouldn't be?
Well, not when you're fighting things from another...
Well, I mean...
So, because this is only the quick start, we've pretty much gone through all of the rules needed to actually play the game. They are a sort of cut down version, as we recognised, but in essence, we can play. So this now is actually the little scenario that we have as an introduction. And I don't want to ruin this, because I think anybody who potentially is going to want to play, they'll want to discover it, of course, with their Games Master. So what I will do is we will flip through this real quick, because we'll take a look at the player characters, because that gives us a little bit of an insight as to the types of characters we can be. Yeah. Let's go flick all the way through. Here we go. Can I go back to here? Right, so we can't actually see the conclusion, but that's unfair. We're getting 2 pages. So we have this Germanic priest. We're going to miss him, but we can see some of his, we got to see his weapons, his talents, some of his spells. Because we don't want to look what a conclusion was. Damn you, 2 pages, damn you. That's a totally inappropriate placement there, but there we go. Oh, you do have a translation before we move on.
Yeah, that's what it gave me. I kept trying to see if it would like give, because like certain words come up as different meanings.
Okay.
So like tenet is he holds. If you just write in that from Latin to English, it translates to he holds. But when you put all the words together, this is the phrase it keeps spitting out.
The father holds the wheels of the Arep.
That's why I was like, come on, give me something better.
What's that?
I don't know. I have questions. The father holds the wheels of... See, I want to say time. I want to say time straight away. That makes some kind of sense, doesn't it? And then, like before, so if you don't type it all in together, it starts off as the sower holds.
The sower?
Yeah, like SOW, like when you sow seeds.
Okay.
Right. So it's like as soon as you put all the words together, this is what it changes to, and it's like, no, I want each word of what it translates to see if it pieces together that way. But a couple of the words don't translate on their own until they're put with another word.
Ah, right, yes. Ooh, that's
so
interesting.
It's very frustrating.
But interesting, yeah. We need to find out what the last bit might be. I'm sure somebody somewhere will have decoded it, I guess. But yeah, well, it's an interesting.
I actually know somebody who actually reads Latin. I need to send them that because I know somebody who speaks Latin.
There we go. We will check in with you later to find out.
Yes.
Okay, so we got this mystic that we can't really see the first part of him, but we can look at the talents. So he's got cool under pressure with medicine. So when a situation gets tough, you take a deep breath and get the job done. When you make a medicine-based test, you can spend a fortune point to automatically pass the skill test, but you generate no momentum. Envy and attraction. You hold considerable status in society, and while that comes with numerous benefits, it can cause challenges and complications to arise as well. You cannot move around unnoticed easily, and those who wish to see your downfall or to usurp your position conspire against you. The GM begins with each adventure with 2 additional threats to represent these potential problems. The gods guide you, witnessing the actions of fate and the god in everything. You can guide the hand of your comrades towards the ordained order. You are a spellcaster. Additionally, once per round, as a reaction, you can generate 2 threat for the GM to assist an ally when that ally takes an attack major action or makes a reason and academia test. Silver-tongued, you are blessed with a silver tongue, allowing you to influence people to adopt your views quickly and effectively. When you attempt to sway someone to your way of thinking or haggle over the price of items, you reduce the difficulty of your persuasion test by 1. And unyielding, you are made of sterner stuff than most. You increase your maximum stress by +3. So they're quite cool.
That's handy.
Yeah. And this is for a mystic character. You got a dagger, you got a war axe, you got leather armor, but you also have traveling clothes. You got some ritual tools. You got the amulet of Tiwaz. I'm gonna go with that. You got some spells: the bounty of Baldar, the curse of Loki. So I'm thinking that this character is from the north, north. Yeah, the Ravens of Wodan. The Allfather. Yes, I think that this is a character of Norse background.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, 100%, yes.
It even says the spirits of brave warriors battling eternally in Valhalla. So
right.
Yes.
There we go. All right, that's cool. I was actually thinking about this. I was thinking of games where you can be a Norse warrior. When we were talking about pirate games, I was then thinking about Viking games. And so, yes, this allows us to play essentially a Viking, doesn't it? Which is quite cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can actually see the beginning part of an actual character sheet here. So this is an Egyptus scholar and occultist. I'm near of saying Ahsoka only because I hear Ahsoka so often. But
yeah, I know.
Akusa. So she is a scholar and occultist, which is a sage coming from Egypt. So she has some truths. So this is where the truths come on in. So she is from Egypt. She's a dream walker, seeking the lost, a student of the occult. And she has, I have a secret, she says. But what's your secret?
So the truths are very reminiscent of the Vaesen, where they use truths.
Yes.
Or like your dark secrets and stuff like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Where you don't necessarily want your entire party to know everything.
Yes. Yeah, no, agreed. I guess, but that sort of reflects then that there is the element of that you are factions who maybe had some animosity towards one another, but given the bigger threat, you're working together. But those elements of animosity still linger in the background, which you can have a lot of fun with role playing. Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how somebody would implement that. I have a secret, especially if there's not any limitations to it. So like maybe you have a little more to do with the occult than you're letting on, type of thing.
Well, she is a student of the occult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, Elhawk. Thank you for joining us. We are taking a look through the quick start guide of Cohors Cthulhu from MODIPHIUS Entertainment. The Kickstarter for the main game, player's guide, and the GM guide go live tomorrow from midday BST. So we are taking a look through, getting very excited. So what she's got skills and focuses in academia, crafting, engineering, medicine, persuasion, resilience, and tactics. And then she has her talents: applied knowledge, fade away, foreboding, survival. Every so often it feels like you narrowly avoid disaster thanks to an unknown guiding hand. How you avoid these fates is unknown, but bad luck seems to befall those around you. Oh no! Oh no! Don't want to be around her. So once per session, when you are dealt an injury, you may generate 3 threat for the GM's pool in order to avoid suffering that injury. Wow. I think the GM could have done a lot of fun playing that. Okay, so you've avoided the injury, but one of your friends now, I've got 3 threat to use against them.
You may have survived, but everyone else.
Yes. Oh gosh, here we go. Vero nihil veris hang on. Vero nihil veri. I can't say the last one. Verius. Vero nihil verius. There must be an easier version than that. You have a keen eye that can spot the truth of the matter. Just say that.
Dear RPGs, I'm gonna need you to put the phonetic spelling in brackets beside things.
Hey, I don't hear you jumping on in to correct me on this one, so please go ahead.
Well, I would have said Verus instead of trying to pronounce every single letter.
It's various. Oh, there you go. Various. Vero nihil various. Vero nihil various. Yeah. I'll know Latin by the time we get to the end of this quick start guide. I guarantee it.
Oh, I need Garrett in here.
What does she have? She has a cudgel. Oh my goodness. And a sling. So she has a pet mouse.
Oh, it's Mila. Sorry, Lee will get that, but
writing materials,
awesome.
Stylus, and wax tablet. Okay. Interesting. All right. Let's go to the next one. Oh gosh, we got names. Cohors it's not art. It's Atreus Famugadus. Cohors Atreus.
This is your Roman legionnaire.
Yeah. From North Africa. So he is soldier, legionnaire, specialization. So that makes us think then that they are other soldier classes, which I believe would be the case because having seen other games like this.
Oh no, cool. He's a sole survivor. No.
It's because he's been hanging around with the Egyptian scholar, and every time she rolls badly, he's been the one who's him and his pals. They just keep on getting wiped out.
Well, and he's got a secret too, so I wonder if maybe he's the reason he's a sole survivor. If they drank the Kool-Aid. Oh no!
Oh! Well, where does it say? Oh, so here we go. Looking at his background. Yes, he's he's young, but seen real action, including which his squad was nearly entirely wiped out by the Germanic rebels. Circumstances were such that he cannot blame the rebels for wanting to defend their territory, and the officer in charge made several blunders that led to the conflict. But nonetheless, he is wary around more militant locals.
Guys, don't drink the Kool-Aid. If he offers you Kool-Aid, don't drink it.
Don't have it. No. Oh my gosh. Oh, here we go. Here we go. In his talents, see, they put the translation in there, and I can say it like this one. Ale lacta est.
The die is cast.
Yeah.
I actually knew that one without the translation.
Yes.
That's like the only one I did know.
Same here. because there's a board game which is heavily dice based, and yeah, Ale lacta est. Yeah, that's cool. That's so cool. Once per scene, when NPC suffers a complication, you can use this talent to increase the fret cost to cancel the complication to 4 fret. He's got the iron hide. He's got the legionnaire training and skin of your teeth. So that's cool, and he of course has got a gladius, and he has a pilum, which is the spear, and of course his shield. Oh gosh, and his armor, which is Laurica segmenta. It's basically the segmented armor that's tied together. I actually made a cosplay outfit of this.
Was it uncomfortable? Because it very specifically says that it's uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable in so much that, and I kid you not, all of the strips of metal were made out of cereal packets, as in the cardboard. Yeah, and so
that's fantastic.
Tied cereal packets with eyelets with laces to tie things up, and you can quite easily make yourself Roman armor. Dead easy. If only I could say it.
You could probably use EVA foam for it as well.
Yes.
Be a bit sturdier.
Yeah, it's one of the easiest armors that if you want to do cosplay, being a Roman soldier is so easy. You can actually make most of it out of cardboard, which is great. So yes, he's a cool one. I like him. So here we go. We have Gerfried, a Germanic archer.
Our Germanic archer.
Yeah, as a scout.
Touched by shadow. I need more information.
What was that? What's that? Touched by shadow. Yeah, I think, the truths are definitely going to be an interesting section, aren't they? But they all have a secret. So that must play into the... I don't know whether you get to create the secret yourself or there are secret lists, to which, of course, I suppose you would share that with the GM, and the GM might play you off one another a little bit.
And I wonder if you, like with Vaesen, if it's you pick one from the list.
Yeah.
Or if you get them all.
As in the truths. I think all the truths...
Yeah.
You have all the truths, but... and I think that there must be lists for each of these. So... Because that's the point, isn't it? That these are things that can change. So... You might have defined a particular secret, but the GM can actually change it upon you, or you can change it, can't you? You can resolve your secret, I guess.
So Nomad, if you had Nomad like she does, if you decided to stay with a party, that truth becomes false immediately.
Hey, that's true, isn't it? If you accept them as your family type thing, yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's going to be an interesting section to learn a little bit more about.
It's going to be so much fun. Oh.
So she has a spear, she has a bow, she has mail armor. She got an eye for weakness. She's keen-eyed. She's numb to the horrors. Okay. So for some reason, blood, death, and violence don't affect you mentally. You increase your courage resistance by +6. But you cannot.
Her secret is she's dead inside.
Yeah. Well, oh my goodness, yes. So maybe she's seen so much horror that, as you say, she's completely dead to any of it now. Oh, the poor person.
What if her, like, because I'm assuming the I have a secret is something you get to make up to fit your character to make it more of your own. But what if, like, hers is at a young age, so very impressionable, think, 3, 4, 5, that type of age, you saw some sort of mythos that drove you slightly insane, and that is why you are numb to horrors.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
She's woodwise. So when you're in the woodlands of Germania, the number of successes required for any test you make to find food or shelter, to navigate or to travel in the forest is reduced by 1. Okay, so yeah, she's very much at home in the woods. To which, of course, that is the setting for this first part, so she would be a good character in that regard. Herodian, let's go with that. He's a Greek courier, and he's a schemer.
Oh, he's Hermes.
Yes.
I mean, that's exactly what he is.
Yeah. So he's Greek. He has Atlantean ancestry.
Oh, yay! So you can be them.
Yes. So he's a former servant, and he too has a secret. Does it actually say? So he's in his early 30s.
Wow, he's old.
Here we go. His memories of his family are hazy, but he has held on to one being told his ancestors once lived in Atlantis before it fell. So he's aware of his heritage. So let's just see then, does anything of his Atlantean ancestry actually affect his character?
It gives you certain insights and abilities, and you might receive visions and experience inexplicable phenomenon related to your Atlantean ties.
Where's that? Where's that?
Under characteristic.
Okay. Oh, yes. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Okay. Oh, okay. There's clearly more to that aspect that we're not getting in this guide, but there's to be discovered, isn't it? Yeah.
I need more.
Because you couldn't not do, could you? Let's be honest. Yeah. If you're going to involve Atlantis, you're going to enjoy it and make the most out of it. Okay. So we have bizarre insights. Your mind often shows you a glimpse of things you couldn't otherwise know. Once per scene, you may generate 1 threat for the GM to obtain information. A2, you know the best method of attack is with an open hand in front and a dagger clenched behind your back. So you can make a successful persuasion-based skill test to influence or deceive an enemy during a scene. A practiced listener. Your homeland is rife with the great thinkers of the age, each with their own unique perspective on truth. Hearing their words in the streets of Greece and at the forum has given you a keen mind for insight. I wonder if some of these talents are split, unique to the various nations.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting, to have there'll be a central pool that are common to all, but then a few unique
that are specialized to the background that you pick. Yeah.
And then suspicious. You are suspicious of everything and everyone. You treat every suspicious character like they might be a threat to your life. So he has a dagger and a sword. Papyrus.
Ooh, in the first round of combat, any hostile character who targets you with an attack before your turn increases the difficulty of their action by 1.
Right.
Oh,
okay.
I want more. Give me more.
Yeah. Well, it's just a teaser. It's just enough for us to sort of get to actually play a game and to play a little bit of the character. But yes, there's definitely more, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay. We then have Verodu, a Gaulish smuggler, and Bandit, a scoundrel. So this is this is your roguelike scoundrel character, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Criminal background.
The Born of Waters is under the characteristic section. Oh my gosh. I need more.
Oh wow. So Born of the Waters, in eons past, your family consorted with the pestilent beings who dwelled beneath the waves and foam. Through this corruption has waned, you can still feel it within you. An echo of, Halogene antiquity that calls to you when you sleep.
Oh.
Okay.
Give me more.
Okay, that's a bit, yeah.
Ooh, the talents. Call of the Reef.
So your strange inheritance lets you move within the water. There's got to be a link, hasn't there, between this little characteristic and then the talents that are unique to the characteristic, yeah. So your strange inheritance lets you move within the water as though you were born to it. You reduce the difficulty of athletic-based tests to swim by 1. Okay, so yeah, you're a
to a minimum of 0.
You're Aquaman. You're Mera. Is it Mera?
Oh, please let me turn into a mermaid or a siren.
You're a cunning fighter. Roger's saying, you said the more of this one, is this for Verodu? Are you liking this? Light rangers can move among the trees in the forest, or are you talking about the previous one?
Sorry, Roger, we got a little caught up. I wasn't watching chat.
we did, yeah, sorry. But they are a cunning fighter. They can fade away. They've got a low profile and undergoing all dangers. So this is Gaul. So Gaul is France, isn't it? I'm thinking of Asterix the Gaul, of course. So we've got a good selection of characters from all over the Roman Empire. And in fact, I don't think we had anybody from Rome, did we?
What we had the Roman soldier.
He wasn't from Rome. He was from North Africa.
Rome.
North Africa.
Oh no, you're right. He was. But hold on. He's
part of the Roman Empire, but that's the thing, isn't it? The empire spread all over Europe and North Africa, but he's not actually from Rome.
Well, it says Roman citizen.
Well, again, if you as part of that country, if you bowed the knee, you were a Roman citizen, even though you were from that country. That's the spread of the empire was such. This is really interesting that we do have characters from essentially. So he was a Germanic priest. So even though some of these spells seem very Norse, but he is Germanic. We've got Egypt. We've got North Africa. We got another Germanic character. We got Greek, and then we got Gaul. But we're getting a good sort of, bit of flavour from all over the empire, which I think that's quite cool. That's really nice. And again, as I say, ultimately, other nations will be part of expansions as the line rolls out. So again, I am looking forward to Britannia to see what we get there.
Oh, it's so good. I need more. Need more.
So it concludes then with a chart here. The tests, quick reference, just that you can quickly refer to it. We've kind of covered quickly over that. And of course, there you go. You can see there the player's guide, the games master's guide, and the dice, the d20s, d6, and that is it. So, as I say, if you go onto the channel's Discord, you'll be able to download the quick start guide. There's a link to it there. Alternatively, on the YouTube channel info for this particular stream, there is a link there as well. Okay, let's see if this works. I hope so. Press that. Aha! There you go. So, we have this wonderful artwork, don't we? That is sort of encaptures everything about the Roman Empire. These great statues, these columns. The art that we've seen so far is absolutely wonderful. But we have
so pretty.
A few other here that I mean, again, it's that idea of the start of Gladiator, isn't it? I think that's we can instantly picture that.
Well, actually, no, because we are dealing with Mythos. So no, my objection is fine. It's fine. I'll let it pass. It's just you have a skull with fresh blood on it.
Right. Yes, but that's the thing.
A white skull.
We're going to assume that they've been up against some horrible adversary that has literally just taken all the flesh off their bones within moments.
Yeah, we'll do that.
This is beautiful artwork. I really, really love this.
Roger heard me say so pretty, and when he looked up, it was the raven eating the flesh.
Roger, you know mysticals too well.
God, look at they're so weird looking.
Isn't that amazing? See, remember, of course, Rome is built on the Tiber, isn't it? So the idea of some of these deep folk, we don't at the initial release, it is in the woodland areas of Germania, but ultimately we will get to Rome and fighting in Roman streets. That's going to be quite cool.
But that party looks far too calm to be just walking out and there's these things with tentacles for heads above them, just like, yeah, look at the scenery, guys.
Yeah, maybe so.
Oh, it's so cool.
Have you ever been to Rome?
No, I haven't.
No, I highly recommend it. It is an amazing place, and just the scale of the structures that have survived, and then to imagine what they might have been like at the height of the Roman Empire, and then have fighting in the streets up against the otherworldly creatures. Oh yes, no, my imagination can certainly go there. That's going to be so much fun. Well, what about gladiatorial fights? We have the idea
Roger,
of fighting.
They are not sneaking away. They have a torch. They are not sneaking away.
I think he's been a bit optimistic there. There you go. Look at that one.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
Look at that booty shot. It's just right there. I love it.
Yeah, no, I love this artwork. I think it's amazing. Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, stunning art.
In honor of Sarah, I have to.
Yes. And then,
oh, that is gorgeous one. It was appropriate this time, Roger. Look up now.
It is a great action image. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I have questions about what this thing is, though, because it looks like it's like crystalline.
It does a little bit, or maybe it's more. I don't know if it's not crystal. Is it sort of watery?
I don't know, because it's got like sharp edges. Water doesn't have sharp edges.
That's true. That is true. And it has teeth. It definitely has teeth.
It does. And it's going for it.
Yeah. See, again, I like images like this because, again, it conveys the scale and the size of the structures that they have built.
That's fair, Roger. You're right. It could be frozen water, but he's also standing in the water, so.
Maybe it's a creature that can manipulate water into its various forms. Maybe.
Or maybe if it is water, it's picked up all that debris that's on the bottom of it. Oh, so it's all like the debris kind of coming out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if it's my screen or the image, but if you look in the sky on that last picture,
let's go back there.
It looks like there's something in the sky. Like you can kind of see a face in the sky there, towards the left side of the arch. I can see a beard and like a hat. And...
Yes, I was thinking, but it's just texture because it's done as a painted texture, yeah. But no, it could be some presence looking down from above.
That's
you can't unsee it now, can you?
No.
Moving past it then. Let's go to simpler times. This is nice. This might be Gaul, mightn't it? And just a simple village. with simple
now
folk.
I'm looking in the sky for more things.
Oh, that is. Oh my goodness, that's so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we got simple people here. Don't know what's going to fall.
That's a little
upon
harsh.
them.
Calling the whole village simple.
Well, I don't mean simple. They live a simple life. That's absolutely fine. They're not simple.
Gotta love the English language with all its meanings for the same word.
Now, this looks almost movie-like. This is an amazing piece of art.
There's a head. There is just a severed head right in front of us.
It's. I mean, I just love the idea of, you've got that Roman stockade, those, the logs that have been trimmed into spikes. They've set up this stockade on the frontiers of what is the Roman Empire. And then bursting through with fire and everything is some great big tentacled creature. And these poor Romans, cut off from any support, that they've got to survive 24 hours, and everything is being thrown at them. There's many stories that we've already experienced that could easily be redone in this style, which is quite cool.
Now I'm looking for like hidden things, and if you look dead center in those clouds, from where it goes from like billowy to kind of soft, there looks to be a form in the middle of it.
You're just spotting forms in everything now.
I know, I'm just matrixing now.
Yes.
But there is a head, decapitated head right in front of us.
There's definitely a decapitated head, and there was definitely something in that sky. I think that was the whole point, wasn't it? You're looking up through that arch at the sky, and it's then, do you see it? Yeah, I think that was deliberate on the artist's part there.
So cool.
I think this is a wonderful painting. Really cool. We've seen this one already, but of course we're getting to see it much clearer now.
Look at his butt. He's got a butt too. I may have seen this picture before and was like, I need to point out the butt.
Well, at least we know that the archer does actually have legs, and those are billowing pants that she's got on, and not some sort of tentacle type legs. So we're happy in that regard, aren't we?
See, now this is depicting that the different factions fighting each other and having to come together to do it. Yeah, the peacekeeper, like Roger said. This is great. Oh, those tattoos though from the north side are just gorgeous.
Yeah. See, so this is where I think would make a very cool bit of a sort of scenario going into a campaign, is actually to spend your time fighting against the opposition. So if you were playing as Roman legionnaires, you'd spend maybe the first game. I don't know how you could do this, of actually splitting up the party. So you near enough have 2 games before you even sort of start. So you have one game fighting. Well, could you do that? Could you have so that you could? Oh wow, actually, yeah. Well, I'm just thinking on the fly here. Your GM basically your 2 opposing sides. So a couple of characters are on the Roman side, a couple of characters on the Germanic side. So you're fighting against each other, but thankfully, you're not going to actually fight against each other as a group. So you're fighting NPCs on the opposite side. You do that for a bit, and then of course you come together at this point.
Or start off like in this photo where your players are divided, and you have to have like a meeting, like a UN meeting type of thing, right? To where you have to work out your arrangements in that, and fighting can happen from there. Yeah. I think the idea of having a lot of fighting, near enough a game's worth of fighting to build up, so that you
are entrenched in your side, and then suddenly now you're going to have to work together. So you've already played and got that animosity between the group before you even go on into what is then the bigger threat. I think that could be interesting.
You'd have to make sure that your party members all are like very stable in the fact that, you know, they check in and be like, hey, with each other going, this is, you know, there's nothing personal here.
Yes,
it's all just between this, because that could cause so much tension, but it would be so much fun.
Yeah. I mean, you obviously you would no one would be on their own, so you would have, you know, buddies with you in your side, but to have that little bit, and then of course you then are working together, then aren't you? Against, but of course everyone's got a secret.
Yeah.
But part of it is you've already experienced that animosity between the two factions. Could be interesting. Yeah, it is. You know, split the party and fight each other, so they have to come together to fight the enemy. Yeah. Interesting. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's just, I suppose it's giving you your characters a little bit of backstory, but you've actually played some of that backstory, as opposed to it just being text. But I take your point that it could, depending on the those who are playing, they could feel it a little bit. It could be a bit too much. But you know, this is where you check with all your players, don't you, before you propose something like that. Lots more fighting. I can imagine that fighting is going to be a reasonable part of this game.
Oh, again, severed head. Oh, yeah. They like their severed heads, don't they?
We got flying things this time.
Oh gosh, they're like deformed flying monkeys.
Yeah. Hey, less of the monkeys.
I was thinking Wizard of Oz, the flying monkeys.
Yes.
I was just like, that's what they remind me of.
Well, actually, it reminds me of, you know, the intro of Rick and Morty. You know, the Cthulhu beast that's following them behind their little pod thing. And it's like, it looks like that. Somebody looking upon.
Oh. The other one's just crouched down.
Yes.
Oh, so creepy.
Well, and that's the thing, I suppose, isn't it? That this is a game that can lend itself to have different sort of different feels to it. That you could do that, you know, lean into the historical side. You can lean into the sheer sort of horror of it all, because it can be very, very gruesome, very, very scary.
Well, yeah. I mean, I want to know, are those I'm going to call them legionnaires because that's what they look like from the picture. Are they crawling towards our point of view, and then the one is on his back, just like in the process of being turned? Because just look at the tentacle coming out of his mouth.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
Yes.
And then you have somebody impaled behind them. The body's like contorted and it's like impaled from the side to the ground.
I mean, is it a case that the ones that are turned, you know, can they turn dead legionnaires and bring them back and reanimate them, and that's where the tentacle sort of grows out? Is it a process? That's
very, very Lovecraftian and
yeah. Yeah. So even your fallen comrades suddenly become your enemies. It's there's a lot of fun to be had. And then of course we need to have The arcane element in here, so the spellcasters.
That is stunning.
The artwork is tremendous in all of this.
I like also that instead of, because it is like it's a ritualistic spellcasting, but all three of them have a sword held in front of them.
Yes.
Love it.
So we have a little bit of art here for some characters. It's worth noting, because this is a MODIPHIUS game and following suit with some of their other games, they will be, I believe, launching a range of miniatures to go along with the game. Much like they did for the Fallout RPG and the Star Trek RPG. So, there's going to be some amazing Roman legionnaires in the very near future.
Amazing and just utterly terrifying and horrifying.
well, that's the thing, yes, is that here's the opportunity to, not only get just ordinary legionnaires, but then also get Cthulhu themed legionnaires, which will be quite something else. And I mean, of course, there will be the official figures, but hey, this game also does allow you to go and reach out to all of those historical war games where there is plentiful miniatures, so you could really have a lot of fun with your miniature painting, couldn't you?
Oh, there's a game that is all like gladiators, and I cannot think of what the miniature game is called, but they're just stunning. But it's all like you the whole board game is you fighting in a coliseum.
All right.
Oh, what is that? That's gonna bug me.
We did, for one of our community challenges, we did paint up some ancient Greek warriors on horseback. So when I knew we were going to be doing this, I went and had a look at that miniature again. Okay, yeah, I can see this. Yeah, I would certainly be looking forward to painting up some Roman legionnaires. I think that'll be quite cool. Quick shout out to, is that Jamwa? Thank you so much for following the channel. Welcome. We are taking a look through the quick start of Cohors Cthulhu from MODIPHIUS Entertainment. It is going live on Kickstarter tomorrow from 12 noon BST. Arena Rex. Yes, I remember that game well. I did actually have it many, many years ago. And yes, they had beautiful miniatures. Yes.
Yeah, they're just stunning.
Yes, so there you go. Those are awesome minis that could be used for player characters, for sure. We have our Legionnaire. We have more of an Oracle style of character here. Blue glowing eyes.
That is gorgeous.
We've been thoroughly enjoying looking through the quick start guide. Our imaginations are running rampant. Looking forward
and demanding more.
Absolutely. We want more, of course we do. But yes, very much looking forward to seeing when the Kickstarter goes live tomorrow and seeing what else is going to be available. But yeah, endless possibilities within a theme I think that actually a lot of people can sort of relate to straight away, can't they? I've always thought this, that the ancient civilizations, you get taught about them when you are a child, and that wonderment of those civilizations never leaves you. You're always fascinated about the Egyptians, the Greeks, and the Romans. Everything that they did, everything that they achieved, the scale that it all was on. This game just has the added bonus of a load of cosmic horror thrown in for good measure.
I let's just one up it. Let's just do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd quite happily play a game in a world that just had those ancient civilizations. I'd be fine with that. But hey, let's have legionnaires with tentacles for heads. And believe
anybody can create a game with just that historical aspect. Let's add in the creep factor.
Yes. And believe me, I've been so careful tonight to make sure I say tentacles all the time. There's a different edited version of this tonight's stream where you can replace
Monkey After Dark.
Yes, exactly, yes. Yeah, I don't mind getting the other words wrong. So here we go. We got our Germanic warrior here without showing his bottom.
What we don't see is just all around him is just large post-it notes with the word tentacle across it, so it doesn't fit.
Yeah, you know me too well. So again, he's a great-looking warrior. Full stop, isn't he? Yeah.
I love the hide on him. Like the texture they've achieved in that is just gorgeous.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. That is the last image I have. So there we go. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Let's put that on there. So the Kickstarter, as I say, it goes live tomorrow from 12 BST, 12 noon. The link is in the stream info, so you can give that a go. In fact, hang on a second. Let me see if this works. I changed things around today, so yeah, hang on. You gonna work?
Gosh, even the cover art that they've done for this is just gorgeous.
So yes, Kickstarter will be going live tomorrow.
Get that notify button, guys. Go do it.
Yes, go do it. Do it now. Do it now.
Do it.
And I guess we will take a look tomorrow, and see what is on offer.
Monkey rechat.
Oh, hang on.
Monkey rechat.
Jamwa, thank you so much for your coverage. We have a lot more coming. And I'm excited for everyone to see it all. Oh, you're the project manager. Oh, hello.
We have questions.
We have questions. Don't you escape.
Someone quarter him.
Oh yes. No, we are very, very excited about the game and looking to see what it entails, because the quick start guide teases so much, but there is, of course, so much more to discover. So very much looking forward to seeing it all. But it's been a great opportunity to actually be ahead a little bit this time round on a MODIPHIUS launch, where we've been able to actually have a look in advance. So we've been very appreciative of that, so thank you. And great that you've been able to join us tonight on the channel. Thank you. So yeah, no, I mean, we've seen these artwork, haven't we? And it is brilliant. It's so awesome. So, and I think that's also we've all discussed this before numerous times, that in essence, roleplay games, sometimes people get them even if they don't intend to ever play them, but they just love to read up about the world and to immerse themselves in the art. And I think if you do like ancient civilizations, the Roman Empire, you're going to love this, because the artwork is absolutely tremendous.
I think even if you're not as into the ancient civilization, the fact that it has a mythos pull to it, because you can go heavy on that from a GM's perspective, and it's just so much fun. There's so much you can do and create scenes, and I need more.
Yeah, well, again, that's what has automatically appealed to me, in the fact of that I know that they are going to be releasing books to do with the different nations. And
Yes.
I've got as a template the great work that MODIPHIUS has done on the Star Trek games. And we've already looked at a couple of the books that they've released. So they're not shy on the fact of they get a lot of information together in these books. It's so detailed. It's such a great read, purely from just a reading point of view, you know, in the fact of all this great lore. And then, of course, you've got all the mechanics that they add in specific to that particular book. So, yeah, I can't wait. I will most definitely be getting the books on, well, I've already said, the Greek, the Egyptians, Britannia. I'm all for those. I think they're going to be awesome.
Don't tease. Don't tease, Gemma. Don't tease.
Oh, come on. You can tell us. We won't tell anyone.
It's not like this is live. No one's seeing this. It's fine. It's pre-recorded, right?
Yeah. We can keep a secret. Well, hey, all the characters have got a secret. This can be our secret. We'll keep it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there you go. There we go. We can ask one question, and maybe we'll get an answer. So the secrets for the characters, is this something that, is there a table that basically has a number of secrets, or is this something that a player creates for their character? How does the actual secret work? Are you prepared to share a little bit of info on that? Put you on the spot. That'll teach you for announcing yourself.
This is what happens when you jump in and announce.
Because we've got questions. We need answers.
No, we have so many questions. No fleeing.
Please. Okay, fair enough then. We won't put the spotlight on you too much. We'll just have to wait and see then, won't we? Well then, thank you so much, Mystical, for joining me tonight to take a look.
Thank you for having me.
No, this was great. Like I say, I've been very much looking forward to taking a look through. I am really excited for the Kickstarter tomorrow, and ultimately getting my hands on a copy when it launches, so we can take a look in depth. Because I think there's going to be lots for us to explore. And it'll be nice because we'll kind of come full circle, won't we? We'll have done it initially.
Yeah.
And we'll get to see what happens at the end. So very much looking forward to it.
We'll get to answer some of our questions.
We will. We will have to remember.
Write them down.
I believe you're going to be joining me on Thursday, and we will be traveling far into the future. Not the distant past, but into the future, because we are going to be setting up our bases on the moon.
Yes, we are. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Chaos will ensue.
Much chaos indeed. So you guys, if you want to watch us build our moon base, that's going to be happening on Thursday evening from 7 o'clock GMT +1. So come and join us then. Looking forward to playing Moon from Sinister Fish Games. What a great publisher name. All right. Well, thank you, Mystical. Look forward to seeing you on Thursday then.
All right, see you then. Bye-bye for now.
Bye now. And so there we go. Well, our thanks to Mystical for taking a look through Cohors Cthulhu from MODIPHIUS Entertainment. If you didn't already know, the Kickstarter's going live tomorrow from 12 o'clock noon. So do go and check it out. Do go and back it. I certainly will. Look forward to seeing you all on Thursday evening. But until then, bye for now.